Hello, I'm here talking about the best ways to repair your RC short course body. So here are some examples of a few bodies that I've got. One is brand new, is the latest one. Hopefully that doesn't get damaged. First I want to talk about the do's and don'ts. So let's talk don'ts. So it's very common for people to trim the rear fenders or the rear bumpers here and here in an effort to save weight, look cool. Here's an example of a truck where that's been done. The problem is when you crash, the whole fender takes all the beating as opposed to the bumper that takes the beating on a truck that still has the bumper. So if you're thinking about it, don't cut that bumper. Leave it intact. Secondly, when you're trimming the vent holes to address the parachute effect of a short course body, make sure that you are careful. Don't over enlarge the holes. It leaves just a very small amount of the body left to resist any cracking or damage or breaking. So be careful when you're trimming the body. You can see this one has a little more care taken in drilling out some of those holes. So first, when you are repairing a body, what I'd like to talk about is what would you do? First step, I came up with this idea where first tape the body on the outside wherever the crack is. And if you look close here, you can see that's one of the cracks that was in this body. It actually goes up here and over into here. Anyway, tape the body so that it stays in one spot. And then I've also got this stuff here. It's a flexible CA glue. So tape the body and then apply some of this CA glue and let it set up overnight, and it will act as a kind of a first guard or a first defense in keeping the body together. And then secondly, of course, is the tried and true drywall tape and shoe goo. There are various products out there. This one is Goop, Shoe Goo, or E6000, I think, is the other one. A couple of things to notice. One, if you look at this, it's got some diagonal strands in it. That's going to further reinforce that material as opposed to the typical that just has the horizontal and vertical fibers. So secondly, when you apply this material, just goop it on, as it's called. And then just use your finger to smear it in and push it into every nook and cranny, if you will. You don't need to use a brush. It's a little silly to use a brush. So here's an example. There was a crack at the front edge, and so we did that. Here is this actually was broken here all the way through, and so we repaired it with the shoe goo and tape. And then my third and final repair idea is a reinforcement along the back here with these fenders is a barbecue skewer. That's what I used the first time around. If you look at this, I put the tape in there and then put a dot or a big dab of glue right at the end to reinforce that. On this one, if you look, there was a pretty significant crack in the body right through here. So that is going to help to strengthen the whole rear end of this. While I discovered that, or after discovering that, I actually had an incident with this body where the bamboo broke. And so I also discovered these materials at Tap Plastic. So this one here, this is your bamboo rod. This one here is a fiberglass rod. And then this one is a fiber epoxy tube. So it's a little lighter than the other. This one here, it's lighter, but it's about half as long as the fiberglass and costs about 50% more. Anyway, you can get those at Tap Plastic. Good luck. Happy repair.